through it, so I'm gonna leave the pleasantries alone. All right, glad you're here. Hope you get something out of it. Okay. My email's at the top here. It's rbellantoni@fau.edu. If you guys have any questions, want to follow up with anything, you want a copy of any of the drills, I'd be happy to have one of our guys send it because I don't have any idea how to do it. All right. So, but if you email me, I'll get it to you. We have spring practice starts March 15th through April 16th. Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday mornings, open door policy. If you want to come watch us practice, come on down. If you want to come talk football, come on down. You want to bring juniors, we have one junior day on April 16th. Every day is a junior day at FAU. If guys want to come in during the week, they can come in, juniors, sophomores, freshmen. We love having kids on campus. All right, so we had 3 great classes now that we've been there. I want to talk a little bit about where we're going. All right, we're trending up here. We had 3 wins this year, lost 2 games in overtime, and then lost another by 1 point. We win those 2 overtimes and that one other close game, we're going to a bowl. So we are headed in the right direction. And with 3 good recruiting classes, next year should be a pretty good year for us. It's an exciting time to be around. Total defense, what we're going to go through, not to brag, it is a little bit. All right, we went up in total defense from 1 year to the next, 39 spots, 51 spots in scoring defense, 48 spots in rush defense, and 5 spots in pass defense. So we're getting better. Okay, our program is about to explode, so we'd love to have you come. We had 9 freshmen play for us this year. 9 freshmen. 5 of those guys started every game. So, you know, with a young defense, that improvement that we had was with a lot of freshmen on the field. So we're just going to get better and better. I want to talk a little bit about recruiting. Roger Harriet is a guy that was with us, and he said he learned a lot in the 1 year he was with us about how recruiting works. Okay, we signed 25 guys from Florida, or 24 from Florida out of our 25 signees in the first class. Second class, we had 25 signees, 21 were from Florida. Third class, we had 19 signees, 17 from Florida. Okay, we've got 3 commitments in next year's class. All 3 guys are from Florida. We're going to recruit Florida. Okay, nothing against the previous guys, but they were kind of all over the place. Most of our guys are from Dave Broward and Palm Beach, and almost every guy we've signed from Florida is from south of I-4. So our commitment is here in our backyard. At our level, Division I, FBS, there's 85 scholarship. FCS, 1AA, there's 63 for the fully funded programs. The Ivies and some of those leagues don't have any scholarships, but there's 63 at the 1AA or FCS level. There's 36 at Division II. Some of those leagues have fewer than that. Okay, and then Division III is just need-based aid, and then NAIA does give some. I'm not sure what their rules are. With 85 scholarships, everybody has their own philosophy. I just wanted you guys to understand how we break down our scholarships, because a lot of times you don't understand what's going on in terms of recruiting, how we structure things. There's 42 offensive players on scholarship, 40 defensive players on scholarship, and 3 specialists. Okay, that's our salary cap on each side of the ball. Okay, so I've got 40 scholarships on defense to work with. On offense, we want 4 quarterbacks on scholarship, 6 tailbacks, 5 tight ends, 12 receivers, and 15 O-linemen. Okay, that's our wish list at each position. And you can go up or down a little. We only have 3 quarterbacks right now, and we have 7 running backs. Okay, so the number can adjust a little bit, but that doesn't happen very often. All right, it's only when you can't turn down Motor, a great player from Palm Beach County, you take 1 less quarterback and you take a running back instead. On defense, we want 70 ends, 17 tackles, 10 linebackers, 8 corners, and 8 safeties. That's what we want. We're 1 over at DB right now. We're 1 under at linebacker right now. Okay, because we found more DBs that we like, and we play a lot of nickel. So, putting a class together, this is the wish list. I want you guys to understand for next year, we have a very small class. We only have 11 seniors. Now, we may lose some, like this year we lost a couple guys who wanted to transfer because they got beat out by freshmen. They know they'll never play. The number can't change, but going into this recruiting class, we're down 1 quarterback on scholarship, so we'll sign 1 quarterback. No running backs right now, unless there's some attrition. 1 tight end, 1 wide receiver, 3 O-linemen, maybe 1 linebacker, maybe. Don't even know if we'll take 1. That's 4 D linemen and 1 DB. We have 1 commit at D lineman, so there's 3 spots left. We have a guy committed at DB, so there's no spots left. So you guys could have right now, and the number may change, but right now you may have the best player you've ever coached. He may be a no-brainer. Everybody else in the country's offered him. I want you guys to understand, if we don't have room at that position, there's nothing we can do. So I want you to understand kind of how it works. It's not what they don't like our guys, or they think this guy's better than that. A lot of times, guys, there's nothing we can do. It's depending on numbers. We can't sign, 115 players. We'd love to have them all on scholarship. That would be great. So I wanted to give you a little bit of education on how we go through recruiting. I wanted to talk about the process, but there's some other things I want you to get some football out of this. I don't want it to all be recruiting, okay? But if there's questions about it, come see me, email me. I'd love to help you with it, help you understand the process, okay? Two things that I think helped us on defense get a lot better are one program drill that we do, and then something we do defensively. The first one is called the edge. The entire team does this edge drill. All right, we go every day. We start off with the edge. The D-line will be on this side, on the goal line. O-line on this side of the goal line. Linebackers over here, running backs and tight ends there. DBs here, and receivers here. Okay, and we work on the edge. Okay, I'll get to that in a second. We start off in the off-season. We have these boards. I don't know how big they are. They're about 6 inches wide and about that long. And you hold the board. And we work on shooting our hands from a holster position into the blocker's chest. We want the screws of our helmet even with the chin of the guy who's blocking us. That means we have bent knees, bent ankles, tight hands and elbows. We have leverage on the guy who's blocking us. If it's a blocker, like Coach Hurd's tight ends, they want to have leverage on the guy they're blocking. So we start from the ground up here with no pads, and we shoot our hands into the board. Just working on that's taking a Nicola Schneider, your boy. Tight hands, tight wrists, tight elbows, screws under his chin, and we just drive it back for a few steps. So we just work on that initially. The first drill we do, now we're all split up here. We're just working on the edge. We'll go down the line, just working on hand placement. We got no pads on, so it's not a competition drill right now. We're working on having tight hands, tight wrists, tight elbows, screws at his chin, and driving back for about 5 steps. So we're working on blow delivery as a team. We go all the way down. Now we've got 4 stations really. We come all the way back. The offensive guys will go down. We work our way down the line, just drilling it. Okay? Then we get to a point where we're having competition. When we have pads on, we'll give them a set hit. And they're both even. They both have their hand holstered. And we're just working on getting our hands. Who can get our hands inside control as fast as possible? Okay? It's a quick whistle. Just hand placement, pad level, getting our hands on people right there. Number 5 has his hands inside. He's lower than the other guy. He's won the drill. So we go down the line and we just have a competition back and forth. It's about a 2-minute period. We get as many reps in as we can, but it helps both sides of the ball. The offensive guys who are blocking, the defensive guys who are block destruction. Everybody with me so far? Here's a good look at it. D-line, O-line here, receivers, DBs, and we're just going down the line again. About a 2-minute fast tempo period. So here's some game examples of the edge paying off in live action here. I think it's here. There'll be a little circle. I'll tell you who it is. I think it's right here, our nickel, Sam linebacker. It's Cantrell Burton. He's a freshman. This is against Miami. Hands inside on the number 2 receiver. Disengage, make a tackle. Next one is against Florida. This is Ray Ellis, our sophomore D tackle, against their right guard, or left guard as we look at it. Defensive guys. Okay, you'll see his hands nice and tight. It's a real good look at it. Hands tight inside, sheds the blocker, changes the mat. He's got his A-gap. He changes the mat as he thinks it back. He's cutting back. That's violent disengage. That's what it's all about. Okay, this one should be the free safety here. Got his hands inside on number 2. Disengages when the ball carrier declares inside. Goes and makes a nice eyes to the thigh tackle, which we'll talk about here in a little bit. I want to show you that from the back end. Really good eyes to the thigh. Maybe you can be a little bit lower. Another example of us using the edge. Nickel up here. Let's go to the end zone on this one. You see his hands nice and tight. Pad level underneath. Chin or screws in his helmet at the chin to the blocker. Chin to the blocker, hands inside. Disengage. Get in on the tackle. Not kind of. Okay. This one is the corner. Up top, you'll see here from the outside. Sets the edge. He's a little bit high, but he has his hands inside. Keeps his eyes in his gap. Ball shows up. He gets a piece of the tackle. That's Herb Miller, freshman from Miramar. Here's another one of Herb. He's a deep third type defender here. Hands inside on the big old lineman coming at him. He's a little bit high, but he has his hands inside and can disengage. Now the weight room will take care of the rest of that with him being more physical now that he's had an off season. One more here with the edge. You'll see from the end zone. This is our DN right here. Robinson Eugene out of Miami. Hands inside. He's nice and low. Got his hands inside of the blocker. Take him on with one hand now. Disengage. Make a tackle. Okay, so here's some examples of us not using the edge. Okay, this is why it's important. First one. Where's that? Oh, right here. Will linebacker right here, just runs outside, too high. His helmet, that old lineman has his screws at his helmet on his chin, hands inside, and he drives him out. Now, yeah, he gets a piece of the tackle, but he creates a little bit of air in there to allow the guy to get 3 yards instead of 2. Okay, so there's a bad example. Here's one against Miami. Our nickel here. Hands not inside, too high. Hands not inside, not being violent. And he doesn't disengage. A lot of times we see that. That's a freshman. A lot of times they want to get off a block, just running and making a tackle. You've got to disengage and then get to the ball. You have to defeat the block first. Common mistake. Another one here is our corner. Okay, you'll see here the receiver gets his hands inside, continues blocking, never disengages, is blocked for the entire play. Not good. Another one here by our white linebacker. Doesn't use his hands. He's just ripping through a block. Man gets his hands on him, he's going to block him the entire play. So that's why we do the edge drill. We've got to get better at it. Okay? The way we tackle, all right, we teach tackling a little different than we used to. Okay? Number one is safety. We want to keep our head out of it. You know, that's a big topic right now. So we want to keep our head out of it. The other one is production and efficiency. All right, when we go high, I've got some examples on here of high tackles that we missed. When we go low, we don't miss tackles. We don't. So we start, and we'll do this all summer, even in the spring, before we go into spring practice or fall camp. We'll do it without pads. We get one knee up, nice and tight to the ball carrier. We call it eyes to the thigh. Now we want to keep our helmet out of it. It's a shoulder tackle, but we want our eyes on the near thigh of the ball carrier as we're chasing in pursuit. Eyes on the near thigh. Okay, so as we get close to the ball carrier, my eyes are on that near thigh. It also means if your eyes are on his thigh, your neck is bold. When your head is down, your eyes are on the ground, you're going to get hurt. You can hurt your spine, but if you're looking at his thigh, your neck will be bold and you should be safe. And we also want his shoulders above his waist. A lot of times, guys, when you see tragic injuries, it's because their head is down, their shoulders are below the waist, and your spine is at that type of angle, and that's when you get hurt. When your head is up and your spine is at that type of angle, you're in a better position to be safe. Okay, so we're nice and tight. On the command, we wrap up and we roll. Eyes to the thigh, wrap and drive. Okay, so we're just in close proximity. We do the left side, then we go to the right side. Okay, we want to keep our leverage with our eyes on the near thigh, wrap and drive to the ground. All right, so we start off nice and close. So we back them up about 5 yards, about 3 yards away from the ball carrier. Okay, now we're simulating pursuit. We're going to track that near thigh. Eyes on that near thigh. So when the ball carrier, that's the tackler on the ball carrier, when he cuts back into him, we want to go near thigh, eyes to the thigh, wrap and drive. So this is the ball carrier going straight down the line. He'll cut back to the tackler, eyes to the thigh, wrap and drive. Okay? It's important that we keep our head on the left side of the ball carrier here, on his near thigh. Wrap and drive. Then we'll go to the other side. Track, pursuit, track that near thigh. He cuts back into me. We go wrap and drive. Okay? The other thing that can happen, and we'll get to that later, is if he doesn't cut back into him, if he continues over here, then we'll want to go to what we call a gator tackle. We go eyes to the thigh when he cuts back to me. If he's going this way, in this direction, or straight down the line, and we can't get our eyes on his thigh, then we'll go wrap and roll gator tackle, which we'll get to here in a little bit. Okay, I want to show you some good examples in the game of some eyes to the thigh. Here's our free safety. All right, we're in our cover 8, play press quarters. That's our base defense. Number 2 out on bubbles or outs. The outside backer is responsible for it, but if he's sucked up on play action, the safety's going to give top cover help. There you see on bubble, we gave up very limited yards, maybe an average of 3 yards per bubble this year. I was scared to death going into the season about it, but was very efficient for us. So you see the free safety, eyes on his near thigh, wrap and drive. We'll get a good look at it from the end. Here's a good one against Florida. He kind of spits through here. That's actually screen. You'll see our Sam linebacker here, pursuit, tracking that near thigh. Track his near thigh, wrap and drive. Really good open field tackle. Okay, now you can say this guy missed it. And he did. This one makes a nice near thigh tackle. Over here, now they motion to empty. They ran quarterback draw or nickel. Is into the boundary here. Quarterback draw, wrap and drive. Really good job of not only keeping his leverage and eyes on the thigh, but driving his feet and limited yards after contact against probably a bigger a bigger player than he was. Wrap and drive. Really good job there. You see his position, shoulders above the hips, neck fold, eyes on that thigh. That's a really good one. Here's another one. Umpire free safety. They're an empty. They run screen. Mike linebacker misses them, which is fine. We don't care about missed tackles. Okay, we care about wrong leverage tackles. If he overran the ball, that's a bad thing. He misses them, he makes him stop his feet and go backwards to give time for the rest of the guys to get there. And as you see our free safety, I think I got a good look here from the end zone. Comes down, tracks that outside near thigh, right there, wrap and drive. Pretty good job. You'll see the other guy going in at the end was going low also. All right, this one is safety here. Again, Jalen Young, this is a kid from Seminole Ridge. He's been, both of these clips are him. Now he's on the wrong thigh. He goes to the inside thigh. We want him on the outside thigh, the near thigh, but that's a pretty good tackle in open field. Okay, that's a dangerous position to be in against a good football player. But he goes low, sprint, shimmy your feet, don't stop your feet. He stops them, and then near thigh, wrap and drive. Pretty good job there. This one, Sherrod Niesman, he played in 2 All-Star games, Tropic Bowl, NFL PA Bowl, got a chance to keep playing. He's our knockdown safety. Ball splits us, as you'll see here. We never want to stop our feet. We don't use the words break down. As you'll see his feet never stop. He shimmies short steps, continues to gain ground on the ball carrier, wrap and drive on the near thigh. That's a pretty good open field tackle. Here's a really good look by Jalen here. They throw a little hitch, play action. Coach Socha, you can go offensive guys, your RPOs, drives it, outside thigh, boom, violent, doesn't break down, runs through that near thigh, proper leverage, physical tackle. Perfect. Okay, this one's our Mike linebacker in pursuit on the screen to the side. Oh, no, it's actually Jalen again. Runs through that near thigh. Now he doesn't wrap. We'd like to see him wrap there, but that's a good shoulder tackle on the near thigh. Jalen's going to be a good football player. Here he is again, running the alley. The thing that he doesn't do good right here, he stops his feet, and then he catches. So he gives up a few yards, but he gets his eyes to the thigh and makes the tackle. Here's a linebacker on the screen to the sideline, chasing the near thigh, near thigh, near thigh, prevent the cutback. Eyes to the thigh. Nice final little hit there. Could be even a little bit lower, hits it more on the waist than the thigh, but that's being a little picky, right? We'll take a tackle. Here's Jake Stoshak, redshirt freshman, started the Miami game. Jalen was playing nickel at that time. Shimmies, this is good. Sprint to the near thigh, shimmy, don't stop your feet, eyes to the thigh. Now he got some help from the corner there. That's a pretty good tackle. One more against Miami. He loses leverage here, our Sam linebacker on the cutback. Again, we want to go to the near thigh. He gets his head across, which is not what we want, but that's a pretty good tackle, eyes to the thigh, wrap, limits any yards after contact. Again, that's why we go low. It prevents yards after contact. And safety. One more. Aziz, this was our freshman All-American. Backside backer here, chases the near thigh, near thigh. One of the things you see here, this is one of the drills that we'll do. We work on picking up the legs and driving the guy onto a crash pad. You'll see that one carrying over right here, picking that near leg up. As you wrap, you pick up the near leg and limits any yards after contact. So that's a pretty good job by Aziz from the backside. Picks up that leg. Good job. Here's Niesman again. Drop down. We were cover 3 here. Dropping down, uses guide safety. Drives the out, runs to that near thigh. Really good job here. No breaking down. When you break down, guys, you turn it into a punt return. You're one-on-one. You've made that guy a better athlete. We don't need to make them better. We need to close ground, continue shimmying our feet, closing off the ground, keeping our eyes on our target, which is the near thigh. Now I'm going to show you some bad ones, guys. They're not all great. Okay, there are times where we don't. This is 2 guys over here. Herb Miller, freshman corner. Jalen was a freshman at nickel. We have proper leverage on the guy, but what does Herb do? He's too high, and he stops his feet, right? So he turns it into punt return. Jalen's shimmying his feet, but he gets no help from Herb. We both miss the guy, and he gets out of bounds at about the 3-yard line. So poor tackling fundamentals by those guys. Here, oh boy, who was it here? I missed the play. I think it's Sherrod, maybe Niesman, the safety coming down. Too high. He hits him up around the shoulders. gets driven for about 3 or 4 extra yards. We go low, he'll fall forward, but he won't gain those extra 3 or 4 yards. That's why we teach low tackle. This one is, Jared Ward. My linebacker right here. They throw a little screen. Another thing, when you go low, it prevents face mask penalties. He stops his feet, reaches and grabs, and hits his face mask. You have a question, sir? 5 minutes? Okay, thank you. So he stops his feet, makes the athlete even better. Jared's a little limited athletically, reaches and grabs. Misses one there. Okay, I'm running out of time here. Okay, over here, Jalen. Again, goes high, reaches for his arm, gets stiff arm, another 5 yards. Okay, Jalen coming down, he's got the fullback man, he's sitting outside his man, goes high, and this big running back from Charlotte, who you've never heard of, who was probably the best running back we faced all year, and he runs him over for about 7 yards. Go low, save us 5 yards. 7 yards, maybe. Over here, two freshmen, Jacob Douglas from Jacksonville, Aziz. What does Aziz do? Breaks down, turns it into a punt return. You're going to lose that against a receiver every time as a linebacker. Don't break down. Shimmy, gain ground. If you miss him, at least he's got to stop his feet. Gives time for this guy to get here. He also stops his feet. Instead of gaining ground to the near thigh, he runs out of bounds, thank God. Okay? Here's another one against FIU. Jalen goes high, stiff arm. Misses the tackle. 8, 9 yards. Low tackles. Here's one. We got a little blitz on here. Up in the hole. Okay? Ducks his head. Not eyes in the thigh. His eyes are on the ground. And in 23, coming from the backside, right here, our corner, instead of going low and wrapping up his legs, gets dragged for about 10 or 12 yards. So that's why we teach low tackle. Here's our gator tackle drill. This is how gators tackle. They wrap up on their prey, and they violently roll. Okay? You get them under the water, and then you eat them. Okay? That's a gator tackle right there. So we're drilling it here from the right side to the left side. We sprint, shimmy. We don't need to get our head across. Wrap and roll. Violent roll. Okay? You'll see some good examples here of gator tackles. Our defensive end, shuffling down, he's the quarterback player here, goes out, chases, just in pursuit, wrap, and roll. Good violent roll. As violent as a 270-pound back can do that. This one is DJ Justy, comes, fits inside, wrap, and roll. See him straining to roll, because that guy's got bigger calves than DJ's chest probably, so he wants to roll, keep him on the ground. Here's another one. Knee spin, this is a really good one right here. Now, we don't like the fact that he broke down, but the quarterback's not a great athlete. Wrap and roll. Okay, another one here. This one's against Middle Tennessee. Neesman defeats the cut. Wrap, watch this violent roll. That's a violent gator roll. All right, here's lawnmower tackle. We drill a lawnmower. Last-ditch effort to save a touchdown. You got to sweep his ankles out. Okay, so we want to try to land on our back so we don't hurt our shoulders. So we drill it just on a bag, trying to knock the bag out. Here's one on the sack. Trayvon Coley, who also played in the East-West Shrine game with Trayvon LeBlanc. We've got 4 guys on defense that have a chance to keep playing. Coley's probably got the brightest future of them all. He's a very athletic deep tackle. I don't know, Trayvon, he's better than Dijon Smith was, who got drafted in the 3rd round. So here you go. You see a nice little lawnmower tackle, save the touchdown, or not, doesn't really save the touchdown, but gets a sack out of it. Here you'll see O.C. Rose. Okay, we get hurt on pin and pull. Good pursuit, chasing that near thigh. Last-ditch effort. Lawnmower tackle, swipes the heels. O.C. does a nice little face plant. About bent over backwards. Good thing he's flexible. Saves a touchdown. So that's our lawnmower tackle. So, I got through it all. I wanted to make sure you guys, I hope you got something out of it. The edge drill, our tackling fundamentals. I'd love to spend more time with you. Come down and see us. Come to practice. Ask for the film. Whatever you need, I'm here for you. I want to help you. Okay, so I hope you got something out of it. Thanks, Derek.